This podcast is being recorded and produced on Gadigal land.
We pay our respects to the traditional custodians of this country and elders past, present.
We extend our respect to any First Nations, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people joining us today.
Always was, always will be Aboriginal land.
I'm Brittney Saunders.
And I'm Alright Hey, and this is High Scrollers, the podcast version of your favourite group chat.
If it's trending, going viral or has you gripped, we're talking about it.
Coming up on this episode, we're pranking AJ.
We got him good too. Actually, I was hoping it would go a little bit better. He almost fell for it too hard. That it was just legit. But anyway, we do prank him first up in this episode.
It's very fun, and we're also very divided on how often to wash a certain household item. Me, not so often.
Matt
you?
has exposed himself once again.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe how disgusting I am, honestly. Plus, Katy Perry's been at the Eras tour. She took a very strange video, put it on her Instagram. We talk all about that and the weird thing that Brittney did after the concert that is just so her. Deal me in, doll. Let's go.
I want to start out today's episode with a shout out.
Oh, okay. We're just giving them away at this point. Who are we shouting out, love?
So, as you know, on the way... Well, every day I love to have a pink V.
Yes.
The watermelon pineapple refresh, okay? And I always get them from a 7-Eleven.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I drive to Sydney, I either get it from the Twin Servos, which is halfway to Sydney.
Mm-hmm.
But today I pushed it out a little further. Once I take the Hornsby exit, then I go to the 7-Eleven there. So it's when you take the Hornsby exit to go to Sydney, there's a 7-Eleven as soon as you basically get off the freeway. And it's Wahroonga 7-Eleven. You know that one that's right there?
Yeah.
And I think there's another servo next to it. Anyway, I always go to the 7-Eleven. The guy that works there, I don't know if he owns it or whatever. He's in his 50s or 60s. I go there most Mondays when I'm coming down here, and he is just the loveliest man in the world. You know how when you go to the servo, it's usually just hey, go on, there it is, yeah, $65, see ya. He's good morning. And today I was no fuel, just these. And I got a few Vs because I wanted to get one for Matt. And then he's oh, no fuel, but you got plenty here, in the drinks.
That is so camp.
And every time I go, it makes my morning. And I just feel off the back of us talking about post offices the other day and how it's never the greatest service, I just wanted to give a shout out to the man that works at Wahroonga 7-Eleven. Go there if you live near there. He's the one guy, middle, older age, and he's fucking lovely and he makes my day.
Oh.
You're going to have to go there one time, Matt, even though it's all the way on the other side of Sydney.
Well, sometimes I take the North Connects because I'm lazy and I know it only shaves 4 minutes off the trip and it costs me $25.
Exactly.
But...
That's why I kind of avoid it. I go that way on the way home, but then coming here, I just go that way. And then I get to see that nice man. And honestly, just a tiny, small interaction like that can really make someone's day. And next time I see him, I'm going to tell him.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, you fucking make my day, sir.
Aw.
Yeah.
That is so lovely.
So that's my shout out.
Oh, I don't have anyone to shout out now.
Have you had a nice experience somewhere lately? Have you met someone?
Yeah, I was in Bendigo. We went to Swan Hill. I'm sure you all saw the stories. Giant Murray Cod #. It was a big show, Joel. Gallstones Hospital, Jamboree, Taylor Swift. We've had a big week.
I know. What has been going on in your life?
So much. But I was in Bendigo and I don't know where it was, but it was on the water. There was a cafe we went to and there was a guy there and he was just he was almost acting like a magician.
Oh.
Hey everyone, welcome. So good to see you all. Come on. What do you want now? Who got the strawberry shortcake? Who got the... his energy was through the roof. In fact, all the staff there were pretty lively, but he was a standout and we all were just shocked because we had been up. I had been up since about 4 o'clock that morning in full glam and it was about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I also, because of my gallstones, couldn't have any coffee / dairy, so I couldn't have iced latte or anything, which I would usually have on something like this to pump myself up. The doctor told me no milk and I'd be fine with caffeine if it was just black coffee. I decided, because I don't want to drink the black coffee, I'd just have one of your pineapple watermelon V.
I am pineapple watermelon V at this point.
Yeah, you gave me a taste last week. And I was oh, that actually is phenomenal. No wonder you have one every single day. And I never, we've spoken on the podcast before, I never drink anything but water these days. And I never drink anything, I don't drink soft drink. So even having a bubbly V energy drink at all is so random. Because if you said to me, do you want a Red Bull? I can't think of anything worse. You know what I mean? There's no way I'd have a
whereas
Red
I
Bull.
think these V's, like the taste is so light and fresh.
Yes.
Like I myself couldn't drink a Red Bull every day. Like that
Yes.
feels illegal.
Yes. Yes.
Do you know what? Like that
Yes.
flavor every day? Nah. But
Yeah.
this, it's light and fresh and
Yeah.
fruity. And that's why I can smash down half a litre every day.
Oh my gosh, that's scary.
I know,
That's
but-
scary.
Could be doing worse things.
Well, that's exactly right. We're not getting into that chat again. The amount of DMs I got about that, though.
What about you wanting to do drugs?
The amount of DMs I got from people being like, no, I've always thought this. Like, I've always thought this in the back
you're
of
not
my brain.
alone.
So I'm not alone in
Wanting to do drugs.
in wanting to do drugs, but obviously not doing them because you can get in trouble. And I think that's what I'm scared of. Hello, my dad's a school principal. Like, I've grown up with authority my whole life.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Anyway, I haven't even spoken to you about everything that's been going on.
Yeah.
You've had gallstones.
Oh, yeah.
Do you just want to tell us a bit about that? Because literally not that long ago on the podcast, we were talking about your kidney stones.
I know.
What's next?
Well, I don't know, but this is the thing. Like, I mean, I know I was heavier, and that's probably when some of the damage was done. Maybe potentially, I don't know. I'm not a doctor or a scientist, but I just find it funny that, like, since losing some weight, I seem to be having like more problems than not. I just find that,
very
like,
interesting.
you know, the whole social construct that skinny equals healthy. Not saying I'm skinny, who cares, whatever. But what I'm saying is I weigh less than what I did. And I seem to be having more problems. And the gallstones can be caused by many different things: diet, drinking, drugs, all the rest
can it
of
be
that.
like really high fatty foods can cause them as well? Like,
yeah.
really,
But also weight loss.
right.
And same with kidney stones. Like, if you've lost weight, like, you are more likely to have kidney stones or
That's interesting.
gallstones specifically, I think. Kidney stones, but both of them could just affect anyone at any time, and it might not even have had to do with my weight loss.
Yeah.
The thing is, there's really no way to tell. It can also be hereditary. My dad's had gallstones, so maybe it was just one of those things. It had nothing to do with my weight, but
right.
that's what they penciled it down to in the hospital. And can I tell you, it was the most mortifying thing of my life.
Yeah, can you give me, because all I saw on your story was you were on the floor of the airport or something.
Uh-huh.
So you were at Sydney Airport.
I was at Sydney Airport. I was getting ready to fly to Melbourne to then
yeah.
go to Swan Hill for this shoot that I was doing. I had arrived at the airport, checked in, gone through security, was in the lounge, and I went, oh, my stomach doesn't feel right. Like, so I'm feeling a bit queasy, like a bit nauseous, sort of. I thought, oh, like, I'll try going to the toilet. Couldn't go to the toilet. I was like, okay, it's not that, obviously. Like, we'll just have some water, because then I was starting to get a bit hot, like feverish, and I was like, oh, I'll just have some water, see if that helps. Water immediately, like, made everything go 10 times worse, and suddenly I was in a lot of pain. So I thought, okay, I'm going to walk down and get some Panadol from, like, one of the shops in the airport, and then I'll head to the gate and see what happens. And by the time I had bought the Panadol, I'd run into, like, the producer of the shoot that I was going to Melbourne with.
Mm-hmm. Were you by yourself up until this point?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Because I was like, who is he with? What is going on?
So I was like, oh, you know, something's not right. And she was just like, oh, you know, just sit down, have some water, deep breaths, you know, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know what's going on, but something's not right here. And then 10 minutes later, the pain was so unbearable. I just said to her, you need to get them to call an ambulance. This isn't right. Something's not right here. The pain was very similar to kidney stones, but I knew it
Right.
wasn't because it was in a different area. So obviously the kidney stones, the pain was in my kidneys, whereas this was more, it was like my like stomach and underneath my sternum to my belly button, like someone had it and was squeezing it and molding it like
Oh,
Play-Doh and
God.
tying it in knots and pulling it, and like not really cramps, just it was weird. Anyway, within another 5 minutes, the pain had gone to an absolute 10. I'm like trying not to scream or cry on the ground. Everyone around me is in eras to emerge, pointing, looking. They've brought out privacy screens. I'm on the ground, keeled over from the pain. Privacy screens have come out. They're putting up screens around me on the. So it looks like someone's fucking died. So everyone's looking. They've got the defib machine out off the wall. They're running over. Like, it's a whole big show. I'm also laying there right next to where the entire plane is boarding.
Yeah.
So,
it
'cause
was
I was
right
at the
there
gate.
At the gate.
I was right there at the gate, ready to
Matt,
board.
did anyone know you? Like,
Well, if they did, they didn't make it obvious. So thank goodness for
Oh,
that. But
no.
you wouldn't have known because, like, everyone was looking regardless. Like,
Yeah.
everyone was like, what's going on? And it's just, like, one of those things where it's, like, embarrassing because it's, like, there was no clear signs. It's not like I had vomited and someone goes, oh, he's feeling sick.
Or
I'm just,
you'd
like,
cut your arm
crawling
off.
on the ground, like, in pain, like, rolling. Because the feeling is you are, with gallstones, she was saying, the doctor was saying that you either get the pain so bad that you have to sit still and not move a muscle, or you get the pain so bad that you can't sit still and you need to keep moving to try and find a comfortable spot. And that is what I had. I was sitting, I was standing, I was up, I was down on the ground, I was laying on my stomach, I was laying on my back, I was laying on my side, I was cross-legged, I was legs out, because I couldn't find a comfortable spot.
Oh, God.
The ambulance finally came. They had to delay all the flights because the ambulance actually comes onto the tarmac. So obviously they can't have planes driving around. So all planes stopped. I did not realise that. And
You've held up the whole fucking Melbourne airport.
No, Sydney Airport.
Sorry, yeah.
Like the whole airport is at a standstill thanks to me getting a bloody ambulance, which I'd never got an ambulance before. So it was kind of thrilling. And of course, as soon as the ambulance pulls up, I see the two paramedics get out. They are the two fucking hottest paramedics I've ever seen in my life. And I just look at Michelle, the producer, and I said, oh, for fuck's sake, they're hot. Like, why couldn't you have sent me two average looking paramedics? You had to send the two hottest paramedics ever. One was a daddy and one was like this young guy who was like, anyway, that's besides the point. The point is, I get in the ambulance. He's trying to give me the cannula to give me.
Casey Donovan just walked past.
Oh my God, I love her. Stop.
Sorry, I just interrupted your story, but
No,
Casey
it's
Donovan
fine,
just walked
'cause
past.
she's an icon. She followed me recently on Instagram. Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah. Okay.
Back to
her
the
on the
story.
phone. He was trying to find something about me randomly. Everyone, no one can ever find a vein. So when I go for blood tests, if I get like vaccines, if I whatever, like they can never find a vein. So he was struggling to find a vein. By the time he found a vein, he never found a vein. So he was like, I'm going to have to give you the green whistle. Have you ever had the green whistle before?
Oh, how good's a green whistle?
Well, I've never had it. And because I'd never had it, he had to ask me like 10 questions.
Are you allergic to X,
Are you
Y,
allergic?
Z?
Blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. And as I'm answering all of those, the pain disappears to a 0. It just goes. And I was like,
So you didn't get to have the green whistle?
no.
Damn
Because I
it.
said that. And then he goes, oh, well, we won't bother giving you anything then. And so then I was at the hospital, no pain whatsoever the whole time. Still feeling nauseous, still feeling like something was not right inside me, but it wasn't painful. Get to the hospital, the doctor was fabulous. She did I was laying down, she's pushing on my stomach and my liver, and she's saying, all right, cough, breathe in, deep breath, deep. And she figured out that she was 99% sure it was gallstones and something else, some big scientific name. And she was basically like, you need to have an operation. You'll probably at this stage need to get it out, but we need to have an ultrasound. And she's like, but what are your movements today? Because I know you're at the airport. So we explained we had this big shoot, which was down in Swan Hill, and it was a huge crew. There was a big crew. There were lots of locations. The Swan Hill Council was involved with the whole
You
thing.
couldn't
like,
not go.
like there was a lot of things I couldn't not go. They were going to work it out and kind of work around it if they needed to, but I was like, I cannot let this team down. And also, I'm getting paid a lot of fucking money, so I want to go, Joel. You know what I mean? In this economy,
The gallstones can fucking wait.
Exactly. That's what I said. So I said, you know what? Just give me the referral for the ultrasound. I'll do it later in the week and we'll sort that out. If I have to get it cut out, we can do that later. And I was like, send me on my way. And so she gave me a safe to fly. And I went straight back to the airport. They still had my bags at the airport because it was already on the plane.
Lucky that you could get on another flight.
Yeah. So we went down and obviously ended up being there a lot later. But that was just a travel day. We didn't start shooting to the next day anyway.
That's good.
And I haven't had any problems since.
Are you still going to get the surgery?
If I have to, I'll go for the ultrasound. And like if they advise that, I absolutely will get it out. A lot of people messaged me when I posted about it and said like same thing happened to me.
It's just a keyhole surgery too, isn't it?
I think so. I think laparoscopic, is that what they call it?
Mm.
So I think a lot of people were saying same thing happened to me after I lost some weight, and it was the best thing I ever did because a lot of people actually, it said I was Googling everything. I'm a professor in gallstones now after having that experience, but it was saying like if you have one, you're 70% likely to have another. And with the kidney stones, it wasn't that bad. I know you can't really do anything for kidney stones, but with that, it wasn't that bad because it was just a Saturday morning. I was in bed and we just went to the hospital and it was harrowing, but like it was fine. With the gallstones, what scared me is like I was at an airport. Like, what if that had happened on a flight? What if that had happened at a situation? What if that had happened at a Taylor Swift concert? What if that had happened while I was at Jamboree, hours away from a hospital? Do you know what I mean? Like, It's kind of like, what if that happens when there's no... And the thing is, with kidney stones, I don't know whether they get any worse, but with gallstones, if the stone has blocked the passage, I can turn yellow, jaundice, I can literally die because of the gallstones if you don't treat it, because it's like because it flushes out toxins or something, and if it can't flush it out, it just kills you, I think, eventually, or makes you very, very sick.
Scary, man.
So I'm like, get it out of me. If we need it out of me, it can absolutely go. And I'll have the surgery. But also, I'm busy. Like, you know, we've had Mardi Gras. I hosted the AIMCO Awards. Like, everything, you know, I don't have time to have... When am I going to schedule this in, doll?
Who has time to go to the hospital?
Yeah. Anyway, I'm all good. Feeling good. Let's get on with today's episode. Royal Flush of the Week, please. Brittney, best thing you've seen on the internet? Go for it.
There's this challenge on TikTok. I don't know if you've seen it, but essentially these influencers or TikTokers, they are pranking their partners by saying that they've been offered a brand deal to go to an oil rig and work on an oil rig.
What?
Yeah. And so the whole joke is to pull your partner in and say, look, I've been, you know, offered this brand deal on an oil rig just to see the partner's reaction. It's just so stupid. So I thought, why don't we ring AJ right now
Oh my God.
and say we've been offered a brand deal, but instead
With
of it,
Nova for the podcast.
yeah, and that we are going to go do a day in the life. We
This
have
is
to
great.
stay there for a few days and we'll get paid like 30 grand or something.
So how are other people reacting? Like, how are the boyfriends reacting in these videos you've seen? What are
they're
they
just
saying?
confusion. Like
They're
just
okay, they're just like, why would they do
like
that?
they're like, that's a lot of money, but like what the fuck?
Yeah, okay.
So I thought we could ring AJ and
I'll just stay silent.
Yeah,
You
okay.
act like you're in the car and you're like, hey.
no, I'll say I'm here in the studio and like they've just brought it up and they want an answer off me and you today.
I'm just going to stay silent over here.
Okay.
You call AJ and then we'll just say, big prank. Here we go. Oh, FaceTime audio. That's new.
Hello.
Hello, I just have a quick question for you.
Yeah.
Nova have just asked me and Matt, like they've got this brand deal thing for us, but it's really weird. It's to go on an oil rig.
What? Like, what is it?
They reached out a while ago and wanted us to like talk about, I don't know what it is that we're promoting exactly, but now they've like want us to go on an oil rig and do like a day in the life thing and like even record an episode from an oil rig.
Like, can you imagine the backlash you'll cop from that?
But it's like 50 grand.
Is it?
Yeah. But it's just really random and Matt and I like, we don't know what to say, but they said they want an answer today. Like Matt really wants to do it, but I'm like, because he's like, it's 50 grand, 50 grand. But like, what the fuck?
Like, yeah, if it's 50 grand, but like, just remember you'll cop fucking so much backlash for it
Why?
because it's like mining. It's mining oil, so mining fossil fuels. That will blow up.
It's just a prank. I'm just joking.
Oh, fuck.
I love that you went along with it and took it so seriously.
I just love that I was like, oh, well, if Matt wants to do it for 50 grand, like, you know.
AJ, you're so smart.
On a fucking oil rig.
What?
Matt's going on an oil rig.
And you're like, oh, if Matt wants to, then. Oh, I'm surprised that you weren't going to say, can I come?
Fuck that, I'm not going on an oil rig.
It's just a TikTok trend that we saw, so we thought we would try it on you and you fell for it. But in a very, like, logical and real way. I thought you were going to be like, fuck off, as if. Okay, thanks for being an entertaining part of our podcast.
All right, bye.
Bye. He fully thought it was real.
I love how serious he was. He was like, oh, yeah, it's 50 grand, but you're going to get the backlash.
You're going to get cancelled.
You're going to get the backlash, but it's 50 grand. So.
50 grand is 50 grand.
Oh my God, that actually is so funny. I also am surprised that AJ, like, believed you. Like, I think you're going to get to a point where you'll call him about actual serious things and he'll go, this is a prank you're recording for the podcast.
I feel like we should prank him more and more.
Yeah, I
and
think
to
so
see how
too.
far we can push it.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a good royal flush. That's weird. I haven't seen anything like that. My royal flush was actually more of a conversation. Like, it's definitely not the best thing that I've seen on the internet this week, but it's something that I saw and I want to bring up because I felt personally victimized by this TikTok that I saw of two guys saying, how often do you change your towel after you have a shower?
I want to say that I wash my towels twice a week.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, see, I feel disgusting because I'm stretching it.
Oh.
I'm stretching it.
See, but I'm the kind of person, especially more recently, I'm trying to do washing like every day because
could
like,
never be me.
I'm just in this habit now of as soon as we get a few clothes, I'll put on a load and like, because I hate letting them pile up and then I've got like fucking 6 loads to do one weekend. Whereas I just keep that shit going.
I feel like I don't even wear that many clothes and I do washing way too much. I go, when did I even wear this? Like, how is this all built up?
Fucked.
Okay. I was really hoping you'd be on my side with that.
Expose yourself. How often are you washing your towels?
Like, I don't even take notice. Like, I don't even take any notice. I would say on average, probably like 10 days.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. 10 days. I know people in the, I know people in the comment section. There were people who said daily, like one towel, done.
No.
Well, to be fair, when I'm in a hotel room,
You use it
I'm
every
using
day,
a towel
yeah.
once
But
and
that's
it is
'cause
on the floor.
You're not washing it.
And they got that little sticker in the hotel room that's like, please think of the environment. Nah, I've paid $450 to be here tonight. You can wash my towel. Sorry. I save the environment in other ways in my life. When I'm in a hotel, it is luxury first. Towels on the ground. Sorry. I, at home though, will make that towel last until it stinks. Until it is coming apart at the seams.
That's like AJ with his Europe trip
oh my
and
God,
his
literally.
towel for the whole Euro trip.
I'm using that towel to the end of its ability. And then it's such a much more of a pleasure to get a nice new fluffy towel out of the cupboard, and you appreciate that more.
Yes, I love a fresh towel.
Yeah, I love a fresh towel.
I just got white towels for my bathroom.
Ooh.
You know how I've renovated my bathroom?
Yeah.
I'm going white towels because I want that hotel vibe.
Okay.
So I'll let you know how that goes.
That's kind of.
Are they going to have skitties on them in the first week?
Yeah. See, I have black towels and like dark coloured towels, like brown towels, because I'm like, you know.
I know, it makes the most sense, but then like hotels have white and apparently they're easier to clean. Like you can just bleach them.
Okay, yeah, so
You know,
true.
whereas,
and
like,
I guess
got,
you
like,
know if they're dirty.
Yeah.
Because with my towels, you wouldn't know if they're dirty.
Yes, that's why you can stretch it out 3 weeks.
So, as everybody knows, we went to the Eras tour, which is very exciting. And that night,
Yeah.
Katy Perry was there.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Just
And we saw
random.
Travis Kelce come out. I feel like that's our one claim to fame.
Yeah.
We saw Travis Kelce and everyone was fucking screaming.
Yeah, everyone was going crazy. Rita Ora was there as well with
Yeah.
Katy Perry.
Yeah.
It was a night of celebs. I think Toni Collette might have been there, or maybe it was the next night.
What
I know
I'm
I
so-
saw Rebel
what-
Wilson there once.
What I was so surprised by with that is like the VIP tent like down on the floor. Like how VIP it didn't look.
Yeah.
It literally looks like a fucking pop-up Bunnings tent.
Yeah.
With some plastic chairs in it.
Yeah.
I thought it would be like up in a corporate box, like hidden from everyone. The fact that they have to walk through the whole crowd to get to it.
Yeah.
What's the go with that?
I don't know.
That's not giving VIP.
No, it wasn't giving VIP. But anyway, it happened. And the reason we wanted to talk about it was specifically Katy Perry. Firstly, being at a Taylor Swift concert is random because obviously...
Do you know what the tea is there? Or like what the
Well-
beef was? Or was it just that they were both pop stars?
Well, basically, the whole drama happened over some backup dancers. Apparently, I think Katy took some of Taylor's backup dancers or vice versa. And I think they then just fed into the drama. And also, it had a lot to do with the fandoms. Just making up
like
and, you know,
pitting them against one another.
looking at things and going, oh, well, you know, this song performed better and, oh, she said that, so she must have meant that about Taylor and vice versa. And it all just kind of got blown out of proportion. But anyway, they're friends now. Katy Perry was at the concert. Now, Bad Blood, the song by Taylor Swift, is apparently, a lot of people say, to do with Katy Perry.
But is it? Or is that
Well,
just what people say?
We don't know, do we? I don't know. I don't know if she's ever confirmed it. I would assume not. The thing about this industry is when people guess, it's actually better to keep people guessing than to give them the answer.
Yeah.
Because if you give them the answer, they've got the answer and they're over it.
Yeah.
Whereas if we knew the answer, we might not talk about it or wonder, or they might not be as relevant. So for her to be there, and then Katy Perry posted a video of Taylor
her.
performing Bad Blood on her Instagram.
And then it flips around to her at the end of the video and she zooms in on her
Yeah.
own face as if though to like
Yeah.
hint something. But I feel like this is them just feeding into it.
Yeah, probably.
I'd do the same.
The thing about it is, like, it's so funny to me that, like, Katy Perry and Rita Ora are friends, and, like, I just want to know, what are they texting about?
Yeah.
Like, you know what? Like, are they sending each other TikToks like we do? You know what I mean?
That's one thing I always think as well. Like, if celebrities genuinely are on TikTok, they're just scrolling through the For You page. Like, they're
Yes.
watching all sorts of random people's videos.
Yes.
And then you know how when you're on TikTok and you're scrolling and then you'll get random videos that have like 200 likes
Mhm.
and 2 comments?
Mm-hmm.
Like, Katy Perry would be watching those random TikToks.
Yes. You know what's weird? I think I may have said this story before somewhere. Probably not on this podcast, but I feel like I've told it before. When Instagram Reels first launched across the world, I was given early access along with a handful of other Australian creators and a handful of creators and celebrities from across the world. From memory, there were like 50 to 100 of us. People who were given access to Reels for about 2 weeks beforehand. Before it was even announced to the world it was coming, we had to sign big, NDAs. It was all embargoed, but we were given access to the Reels on our Instagram account to be able to start playing around with them, posting videos, things like that. And I remember what a surreal, dystopian kind of place it was, because I would scroll through the Reels tab, which today has millions and billions of videos that you wouldn't even come across the same ones twice. Back then, when there were only a handful of us with access and only then a handful of us posting anything, I remember scrolling through my feed and seeing Lady Gaga post a video, a reel, before it had launched to everyone else, and I was the only like and the only comment.
Fuck off.
And I just thought to myself, first of all, Lady Gaga's definitely going to see this. Like, she's going to see, because, like, how is she going to miss this? I'm the only like and the only comment on this piece of content she's posted. But also, she would be seeing my stuff because Reels was being served to those other people who had access. So I'm like, is Lady Gaga seeing my Reels of me choking on jelly? And like, what's, like, it's just like, it was such a weird, surreal little thing to be in. But yes, I also wonder, like, with texting each other, like, is Katy Perry like, Orlando's being such a fucking asshole today, babes? Like, can we go get a cocktail?
I wish we could be a fly on the wall in
Honestly.
celebrities' lives.
Honestly. But there was so much drama when Taylor Swift was here. Her dad apparently getting investigated for pushing a paparazzo or something.
Yeah, at 2:30 in the morning, apparently she'd hired a yacht, probably the yacht that I'm going to own one day. And I don't know, he pushed a paparazzi and threatened to do something else to another person, like threatened to push someone off the boat. And apparently Nicole Kidman has an AVO out on this certain paparazzi.
Yeah, right.
And Taylor's dad's like in his 70s and he's out there fucking clocking someone.
You
I'm
reckon?
like, good on him, because the paparazzi was probably pissing them the fuck off.
Yeah.
It's 2:30 in the morning. They're jet lagged. They've just finished this Australian leg of the tour. They're probably just trying to have a good time, and this 50-something-year-old paparazzi guy's annoying them. I'd do the same.
Yeah, you just really want to punch someone,
I
don't you?
do.
Like,
I
you-
do.
You
Have
really
you
wanna-
ever punched someone?
No. I've only ever been punched.
Yeah.
Because I've only ever been physically assaulted once, and I didn't know what to do because I'd never been in a fight before, so I just kind of like gave up. It was
Did they
really
punch
random.
you in the face?
Yeah, like broke my nose, punctured me,
Fuck.
eye socket, broke my jaw. Yeah, it was really crazy.
I always say that.
That's what you get for being gay.
I always say that I would like to punch someone.
Just to see how. Well, do it to me. Come punch me and see how it goes.
No. Okay, so I always say I would like to punch someone the same way that you say you want to do drugs.
Okay.
Like, I want to punch someone, but I never would.
Yeah. Okay.
Because that is very fucking dangerous. Like,
Has anyone ever punched you?
I had a girl once try to punch. Like, she tried to literally bash me, but it was a really poor effort. I did tell the story on YouTube forever and ever and ever ago. I was 18. I don't know if you remember this story time, Matt, on YouTube. Over a boy. It was so fucking stupid.
Is this the one at the?
At the Beattie.
Yeah, I do remember.
Which is a bit nicer now, but
I know they've renovated.
yeah,
It's
it's quite bougie. It's this establishment on the Central Coast, and I was hanging out with a bunch of people from that area, like not.
Metal Militia days.
Oh yeah, it
Yeah.
was, yeah. And
Explains it all.
I was still living in Newcastle, so I just go to the Central Coast and hang out with these people. I had just turned 18. We were going out clubbing and whatever, and there was this one guy that was in the group, and me and him sort of then begun this little fling. And then every time I'd get together with the group, I'd get together with him, and we'd kind of be hooking up and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
To cut a long story short, I found out during all this that he actually had a girlfriend who wasn't in that group. So that's why I never saw her. I don't know why no one in the fucking group told me that he'd had this long-term girlfriend. Long story short, she like reached out to me. It was this whole thing. I like gave her the information because I felt fucking horrible. Like, she was like, I don't know why this is happening to me. Like, can you show me it's texts and everything, sure. And then, obviously stopped seeing that guy. And then I was at the Beattie with a couple of the girls that I was friends with. We were sitting down on some chairs on like the deck thing at the Beattie. And all of a sudden I just felt like an arm around my neck and I was being pulled off the back of the chair, like onto the ground. Like a king fucking hook around the back
King
of...
hook, yeah.
Yeah, like it wasn't king hit because she didn't hit me. And then all of a sudden I'm on the ground and it was like a nightclub vibe. So then, when everyone's circling around,
Yeah.
like the most embarrassing fucking thing of my life.
Yeah.
And it all happened so quick. She was then like straddled on top of me. I'm on my back. The chair's fucking underneath my head. And she's just like scratching and screaming and ripping my hair, ripping my earrings out. And then before I knew it, the security guard had pulled her off me. She's getting carried out the door screaming and kicking her legs. And then I was like, what the fuck just happened?
So not even a little scuffle beforehand or nothing, just out of nowhere.
Yeah. No, that was it. She literally just came up behind me. I wonder
you
how
do
she's doing
anything?
now. Yeah, I had, because by that point, I'd been getting harassed by her and her family. Like her mum had been texting me, her sister had been texting me.
Okay.
So that was like, I've fucking had enough of this. Like, I'm not even seeing this guy anymore. Like, I obviously don't like him because I didn't know that he had a girlfriend. So I went to the cops at wherever that is, Gorican.
Yeah, Toukley. Yeah.
Toukley. And I literally like filed a police report. Like they took photos of my face because there was like a few scratches and whatever. And then I don't know what happened, but we never ended up like going to court or anything. I think she just said, yes, I did that. And that was that. And I don't know if it like ever got on her record or anything, but that was the end of it. And that was the only time that someone's ever tried to bash me, I guess.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's a great story. Hope she's doing well.
Oh, you're too nice, honestly. The person who bashed me, I hope you're not doing well. Well, it's almost time for you to drive yourself back to Newcastle, love.
Yep, another episode done and dusted.
There it is. You know what was so weird also, speaking of the Taylor Swift concert, you driving yourself home after the concert. You booked an Airbnb in Olympic Park, yet you decided, you know what, at 12:30, midnight, I'm just going to drive home to Newcastle.
Well, look,
it's easier.
I feel like that's a very me thing to do. And then I was at work, like after the concert, and April, who works with me, she was like, that is the most you thing. Like when I heard you say that on your story, that is so you. And this was my like girl math about it, okay? Matt and I left the concert. We walked back to the Airbnb, which was like a 20-minute walk. Then we were like, all right, we're going to wait for half an hour for all the traffic to die down in Sydney Olympic Park. So while we waited for the traffic to die down, I just packed my bag anyway. And then I was going to have to drive you 10 minutes to your car and then 10 minutes back to the Airbnb just to go to sleep, to then just wake up in the morning and drive home, when I'd probably be awake for like a while after anyway, because we'd just been to a crazy concert.
Yeah.
So my girl math was, I'm driving Matt 10 minutes and 10 minutes back. Why don't I just drive another hour and a half and get home so that I could go to sleep and wake up already in Newcastle? That was my thought process behind that.
Fair.
And that is a me thing to do.
It's a very you thing to do.
It is.
It is.
What's a very you thing to do?
What would you say is a very me thing to do? I've done similar though. I'm like,
I feel like that's kind of a you thing to do as well.
it
I feel like
is,
you
for
do the
sure.
same. You go, fuck it, I'm just going home.
But I'm so not a rule breaker though. So my biggest thing is like for you, all you did was we put the keys on the kitchen counter and locked the door and left, which obviously we knew he had a spare set of keys, the Airbnb host.
Yes.
But like if it's a hotel or something and I can't check out, like
See, I'm the kind of person, I'll leave the key and just lock the hotel door. And
No,
just
see,
go.
I need to go down and be like, no, nothing from the minibar, darling. You know,
Nah,
no,
I'm like,
no,
they'll
no.
fucking call me
Can I have
and
a
they'll
receipt?
ask
Can I
me.
have a receipt, please? Thank you. Like I want all that. Like,
Yeah.
I just like to do things properly. That's just like me.
Well, I think maybe if it was a hotel, I would have stayed. But because it's an Airbnb, like, I feel weird, especially when it's not a proper Airbnb. Like, it was
Someone
someone's
lives there.
house.
Yes.
So I really felt like I was
and
not...
it was quite an interesting house, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a guy's house. He even said to me when he let me in, like, oh, I just thought I'd Airbnb this out last minute for the concert because I booked it last minute. And I was like, yeah, I saw that it popped up because I was looking for somewhere to stay. But in saying that, even though I didn't sleep there that night, I'm still very glad that I booked that Airbnb. We got ready there. We could walk back there after the concert. I had somewhere to put my car. It was a good
It was a good
investment.
decision.
Yeah.
But it's just very you to drive home after it.
I
and not
love a
even stay
drive
there.
from Sydney to Newey. What can
Me
I
too.
say?
I love a drive too. I'm such a driver. Anyway, Thank you so much for listening to this episode, Scrollers. We'll see you on Friday for Close Friends. Don't forget, we upload twice a week now, so make sure you got your notifications on so you don't miss an episode.
And as always, don't forget to rate us 5 stars. Someone messaged me the other day and said, I finally rated you 5 stars.
I did notice we did have a huge jump in ratings lately, so thank you.
Okay,
to
so
everyone
keep
for
it up,
doing that.
people. We need the 5-star reviews, and make sure you follow us everywhere else. For me, search Brittney Saunders.
And for me, search Alright Hey. But anyway, I better let you go, Joel. Gotta go punch a paparazzo in the face.